Alright, we have another daily recap for Friday. Boring day today, to be fair, to be honest. What happened? Well, we were kind of bullish overnight, and we had these relative equal highs up here that I thought were definitely going to hit, especially after the open where we kind of started running higher. A reason for my bullishness was like usually when we do reverse a higher time frame reversal, we do it in a way where it's like we like guns blazing, right? Like there's no looking back. We've done that here, kind of done that here, here too, here as well, then here too. For the first month, it was basically just straight up. So with that in mind, and then all this low resistance liquidity stacked here, I thought that maybe even with these like equal lows on a flat body low, we're just gonna get going, man. So I saw the signs of that, and then yeah, we had these nice equal highs as a draw, and overnight kind of looked like we'd be ready to go. We swept out the short-term low here, which was London lows, I believe. Yeah, that was London lows, and then we displaced higher. So I was like, sure, we're probably gonna go take the high. Then we like mega retraced. Unfortunately, no setups in this retrace. Then we retraced to this gap. It was a very ugly short setup in here that we can go over. Then we ran to the internal. The one trade idea that I somewhat went after was this 50-minute gap here that we tapped with SMT to YM. But yeah, we'll get into that on the 1-minute chart. So let me just quickly drop down to that. So yeah, here we have that initial run higher. This is no SMT, so nothing to look at there. And then I have some sort of stuff hidden. Yes, this would have been that first setup where we retraced to the 15-minute gaps. We had a 50-minute consecutive, and we had this breaker. Now, what happened here? Why did I not take this? A few reasons. First of all, I thought the breaker, like the 1-minute formation here, this is not like a great breaker. It's kind of, if you just like first glance this shit, it's a consolidation, right? So I didn't like that. I did like the low resistance lows. I also didn't like that at the time when we were looking for this. We still had the hourly gap. Whoops. We still had the hourly gap above us here as a draw that I thought most likely we're going to go get and not actually go lower much more in the day. So I thought we were probably going to do that. And then if we look at the 15-minute, you'll see that we actually inversed this 15-minute gap on the 15-minute candle close prior. So I was a little, uninterested in shorts at the time. And I mean, almost rightfully so, because would have been, 6 points away from stop. So would have basically actually more less, because the stop would have been here, 3 points away from stop loss on this retracement. It would have actually hit. I still think this wasn't a bad skipper, because the framework was kind of meh. The low time frame was meh. And if the framework and the low time frame is meh, but the pattern is there, I don't think that means that I necessarily have to be all over it like this. I mean, I think kind of what I was expecting also to potentially happen kind of did happen. It just happened to happen a few handles lower than what would have been a stop out. So yeah, anyway, moving on from there, we reversed here. This macro was really nothing. There was like this potential short idea you could have gotten here again, where we had some sort of SMT, I remember. But again, like now that we had put in the leg lower and we're rejecting higher with these highs and then the hourly gap, my draw was higher, so I was like, nope, ignoring that. Then coming into this macro where we had this 15-minute consecutive, or would that have been? This was what the consecutive was, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we tapped that 15-minute gap with consecutive candle SMT, and I was already bullish, like I mentioned, with hourly gap and such. So it was like, okay, well, this could be interesting. And I took this 1246 changes in the state, and I took this on my Lucid accounts. So first one in the bracket of, you know, invalid trades because the close is slightly out of the macro. And as you can see, this delivered nicely. I took one con. I had like 2 cons on this because the stop was 29 points. One of them I took off at 2R, and then the other one I actually ran into a 15-minute gap here, and then took that off there. So, yeah, the other one I took off up here, which, you know, that was quite the nice trade. I think it ran about $350 in total on like 90-ish risk. No, actually a little over 100 risk. But yeah, I mean, that second con, 270 there, and almost 5-0. So that was nice. I didn't want to hold it more because I honestly thought, like, I didn't think we were gonna go run this high on a Friday evening. And I guess I would have sat through a bunch more consolidation. Technically, we were able to scavenge a few more points off the top before we then retraced the end to end the week there. But yeah, that was basically the session. No trades taken on Top Step, and then I did, like I said, take something on the Lucid accounts. Now when I go to the Lucid accounts, it's definitely not going to show up because Tradeovate only has the execution arrows and stuff for one day after. So instead, I think if I go here and then maybe I do view details and I go here, yeah, there's that winning trade and the bad days before, but there you go. We shall start bringing it back, I'd say. Yeah, that's that, I guess. Thumbs up.